Hey guys, you just bought your ZV-1F? Now it's time for the settings. Let's talk about what kind of settings you can have in here, and here's what I personally use, and whether or not you wind up shooting manual or not, you can still get some benefit out of this video. So let's dive right into it. Alright, first, let's start off in photo mode. Alright, starting off with JPEG quality, I like to leave it as fine. JPEG image size, I like to make it the largest that it can be, get the most of those megapixels. The aspect ratio, we're gonna leave it 3:2, the biggest that we got here. For the file format, I like to keep things HD, just so that we can get the most video out of here. For movie settings, I like to just keep things at 24p when shooting normal stuff. If you want slow motion, we can put things in the S&Q mode, and we'll do that later. For the high ISO noise reduction, I like to keep things off. I want to avoid having any smoothing from the camera itself, and if anything, I'll just do it myself in post. Format, we don't want to erase our cards, so we'll leave that off. You can also check the image database just in case they can recover something. Display media info. So right now we got a lot of images and also a decent amount of video. This is plenty for a day, especially if you don't do too many. And on a 128GB card, we got plenty of record space here. Okay, moving down for file and folder settings. And for our file number, we have them here as a series. I don't want to reset this, so we'll leave that alone. For the file name, I just use my initials. For folder name, I prefer date form, so if I haven't touched my SD card in a while, at least I have a better idea of what the date is without looking at the metadata. Okay, going down, we can create a new folder, but I'll leave that off. And writing the serial number, I'll also leave off. Shooting mode. The camera did come in an intelligent setting, but I prefer to shoot manual. But of course, if you don't shoot manual, you can go ahead and set it to intelligent or program. If you're going full auto, just leave it at this. I'm gonna leave it at manual for me. Moving on, the drive mode. This is where we get to choose whether or not we want to be able to have things as a timer, burst, or burst shooting, but I'm gonna set mine to single shooting. That's how I usually shoot. Interval shooting function is pretty much the time-lapse function. You can turn that on, but I'm not going to. You just turn it on right when you're about to use the time function. Silent mode, this is for the silent shutter. I typically use this off. Release without card, I'll just leave this off. Going down, for zoom range, I'm just gonna use clear image zoom. That's gonna be our best looking image. Zoom speed I like to have as fast. And here's something you probably didn't know, but the step zoom magnification I'm gonna include 4 times. Probably won't be the best, but we'll leave that on. Going down, I like to have the grid lines on, so I get to have my rule of thirds here. Or depending on what else you're planning to shoot, you can also include either of these, but I prefer rule of thirds. And of course you wanna leave this on if you wanna see what it looks like on the main screen. So, as you can see, we have thirds already. Exposure compensation. This works better if you're already using auto. That's where this will come in. Metering mode, I leave to multiple. I also leave this open. I also leave this on. White balance. I was shooting a video earlier, so I was dialing in my own custom Kelvin, but you could also set to auto white balance. For white balance, when I'm shooting photo, I just leave it as auto. Although something to keep in mind is since this camera doesn't shoot RAW, you can't edit the white balance as flexible as you would with RAW. Generally, I would set my camera to auto white balance. If I can't trust the camera for auto white balance in a certain situation, then I'll just dial in my Kelvin manually, as I did have it before. And I'll leave the priority set to standard. I set this option here for on, and I just leave it on auto. The creative look, I just keep it as standard. If anything, I like colors, so I'll just go for like the vivid look. But generally, I'll go ahead and edit my photos anyway, so I like to have them standard right in the middle. Picture profile, we can leave that off. We don't need to use that for photos. Soft skin effect, again, similar to that of noise reduction, I'll just do it all in post. Zebras, I like to keep them off, but if I do turn them on, I generally keep them at 95 to show me how bright the highlights are. Okay, going down, focus mode, single shot is the way I usually shoot. Pre-autofocus, I have it set to on. Product showcase, I'll leave off. For my focus area, I like to leave as wide. Subject recognition, leave it on. Recognition target, I usually will go ahead and photograph humans more than animals, so we'll leave this on. I leave it set to auto for the eye select. Subject recognition in the display, I want to be able to see the squares of where the focus is, so we'll just keep it here. Face memory, I don't have any, but you can do this yourself. And of course, we'll leave that on for when I actually do register my face or somebody else's face. Autofocus magnifier and manual focus, I will leave that on. And of course, this is the manual preview there. We'll set it for 2 seconds here. We'll leave this alone. We'll leave this alone. Peaking, I generally will keep this on for video. I generally like to see this on set to high, and we'll set the peaking color to red. Personal preference, you choose whatever color you think is most practical for you. I generally will leave all the playback settings alone. Here in the network settings, you can register your smartphone. You can follow the settings here for when you're ready. I'll leave these alone. I'll also leave this alone. That will be alone. For Bluetooth function, I leave off. Unless I have one of those Bluetooth tripods, I'll just leave this alone. Okay, moving on. Airplane mode, we'll leave this on. Save some battery. Of course, turn this off if you actually plan to connect this to your smartphone. Moving on. Leave that alone. Won't do that. Okay, now we get to the custom settings here. All right, we'll leave these three alone. We'll go down to function menu settings. So on the top here, we have the photos, and on the bottom, we have the videos. Okay, generally here, we kept everything the same. I think I changed this, the grid line display. But if everything else was the same, then we'll just leave it be. Okay, and everything else we left the same. I don't have the screen reader on. For the monitor brightness, for this video, I just set it to -2, so it shows up better here on the video. Otherwise, if it's a bright sunny day, I'll leave it to sunny weather, or I'll just set this to 0. Okay, I have this as auto, monitor flip direction, camera assist I have off. Auto review I leave as off because what you see on the back of the camera is pretty much what you'll get. Leave this off as well, and I will switch power off with monitor. I will just turn this off. For auto power off temperature, I leave this on high if in case I ever do film in 4K. I want to be able to film my clip and then stop recording, rather than have it just turn off on me randomly. For volumes, I leave the volume settings alone. The audio signal I leave as off, and the audio signal start to end I also leave off. For me, I find these sounds corny, but if you find them helpful, then go ahead. If that helps with your experience, you can turn them back on or leave them on. For your USB connection mode, you can choose what you need it for here, but I like to choose when I connect, and everything else here is the same. All these here are also the same. Recording lamp, definitely want that on. Okay, now that we're done with the photo, let's go to the video. Any settings that you don't see me change, by the way, just assume that they're default settings. Let's just save some time and let me just show you what I actually did change. Okay, so now we're gonna switch from photo to video with one button. Okay, there we go. We're on the video setting. If you hit the function menu here, you can change the shoot mode, which I prefer as manual, but it depends on you if you like to shoot manual or if you like to shoot intelligent. I'll just assume we're beginners here, so we'll just stick to auto. I'm just gonna go ahead and show you what I would change my manual settings to for video. And because we're shooting 24 frames per second, I'm going to change my shutter speed to at least twice 24 frames per second, which is 1/50. And then usually I'll keep this at f2, and ISO I will just change on the fly depending on the lighting situation. And for my white balance, I usually just keep it on auto. You can get fancy with your picture profiles, but I just don't change any of these. Okay, next up we're gonna dive into the menu and talk about our file format. For our movie settings, again, I like to shoot at 24 frames per second. And then for S&Q, I like to shoot 2.5 times slow motion, or in this case is 60 frames per second on a 24 frames per second timeline. For proxy recording, I just leave this off. Audio recording, I like to keep this on, and I like to set it at 12. I think usually when you start off, it's gonna be around like 26 or something. I usually like to keep it right at 12. If I ever need to increase the volume, I could always increase it, but once it's too loud, then it's hard to bring back down. And everything else I leave as is. Steady shot, I leave active. Zoom range, I leave just clear image zoom. You can only get the 4x zoom if you do like digital zoom. See, there it is. So that's up to you. For the marker display for video, I just leave all of these off. Okay, last but not least, S&Q mode. All right, let's hit that dial one more time. And now we're on S&Q mode. Okay, so as you can see here, this is going to be 2.5 times in slow motion. We're shooting at 60 frames per second, but slowing it down to 24 frames. And you at least need a 1/60th shutter speed, but we'll keep it at 1/125. Again, you can set this as auto, but I like to keep mine manual exposure. But yeah, it'll do all the work for you. If you think there's better customization or a better setting that I missed, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you want to see this thing in action in a vlog, you can check it out over here. Otherwise, you can check out another ZV-1F video over here. Thanks again for watching. Now go out there and shoot for the life that matters. See ya.